Get my angles right. All right. We got our chat working today. Wait for everybody to come on. It looks like I've been crying. I put some castor oil under my eyes. The winter weather got my skin so dry. No matter what I try to do. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Say hi so I know who in the house. I'm on time. Hey, RC. I'm on time, y'all. The Bears lost. I try not to get. Hold on, guys. Um, I told myself all season I wasn't gonna get emotionally attached, and I messed around towards the end of the season and got emotionally attached. Hey, Melissa. Hi, Jeff. Um, so that's how that go. The Bears lost. It's like OMG. Hey, Adasol, Adasol. I know I'm probably not saying that right. Forgive me. What's up, y'all? Happy Sunday. Happy New Year. I don't think I've been on here since the new year started. How's your new year? I think I like Sundays, guys. I think I like Sundays. I don't know. I felt a different vibe, and I even had a sister lot client today. She's one of my longer heads. Hey, butterfly. Um, but I was still looking forward to doing this. The live. So I don't know. I don't know. Tell me something good. Sundays might be the thing. I did the poll, and it was pretty much kind of neck and neck with people who said yes, move it to Sunday, and people who said it really don't matter. So I think we'll see how Sundays go for a while. But how is 2026 treating you all so far? What is some things you want to work on this year or continue from 2025? Please put it in the chat. We do not have a special guest today, but I will be dropping the link because one of the things I want to talk about, I'm sure people may want to come up on camera. Remember, you don't have to show yourself on camera. You can, turn the camera thing off. But if you want to come up and dialogue that way versus putting in the chat, I will be dropping that link once we get into tonight's first topic of discussion after we talk about our goals and things of that nature. Let's see. Yes, RC. I kind of think I might like this Sunday. Going live. Okay. So I'm glad it's going good. I have to say this so far. I know we're only 4 days in, but so far things have been pretty good. I have been pretty consistent and productive in some things that I have been dragging my feet about and things like that. I don't have a lot of sister law clients this month. So it's no excuse for me not to be consistent with my content here on this channel, as well as my content as far as marketing for my clinic. So I'm looking forward to, I done figured out how to use the teleprompter to do like short videos and things of that nature, because I'm trying to do some different things with marketing in regards to my clinic. So I'm excited about that. So tomorrow I plan to do a lot of batch recording. So y'all might get sick of me this month because y'all might gonna be like, Dag, she just put a video up 2 days ago. But this month, because I don't have a lot of other obligations in regards to sister locks during the week and stuff like that, yeah, I'm gonna get my stuff together. Let's see. Melissa said, yeah, you don't have to show yourself. You do not have to show yourself. Hey, Cedric. So only other thing that I'm going to continue to, I'm going to get back on track with is the exercise. And so, as I've told you all before, I just finished up a perimenopausal menopausal course, and they really emphasize how important weight resistance is for women my age and women who fall into that category. So they it hit home and sunk in for me, even though I've been hearing about this for years. So starting tomorrow, I'm going to be more intentional with that. So I'm looking forward to see how that's going to help with my body, my fat percentage. I want to get it under 30. I would love to get it under 30 by April, but hey, whenever you get under 30 is when you get under 30. What else? The consistency with content here on this channel as well as for my clinic. And what else did I say I want to continue to work on? Oh, you know what, guys? What I realized that I have a bad habit of, and anybody, I don't know if anybody can relate to this. I am a multitasker. Not to be confused with habit stacking. Habit stacking could be a good thing. Multitasking, not so much all the time. So I want to break myself of multitasking. Like I'm guilty of getting on the treadmill and playing the game. So if I'm playing the game, and I like to play puzzle games and word games, right? I can't go, I can't be as intentional with the exercise because I got to be able to be steady like this. So I have to just put on a, YouTube video or my music, exercise, and play the game later. So those are 3 areas I want to work on in 2026 as it relates to here on the channel. I want y'all to hold me accountable. If y'all see me and I haven't announced that something has happened and that's why I'm not uploading, I want y'all to say, hey, remember what you said you're going to do in 2026 now. Okay. Okay, Jeff said we gave you a shout out over on the Facts on JW channel live stream yesterday. Oh, what? Okay. I get everybody's name confused. I think I did an interview with them. Let me go look real quick. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. I know my channel is not like your, I want to say typical JW channel. I think I did an interview with them. I gotta see the yeah. I did an interview with them. All right, I appreciate that, Jeff. So those are things I want to continue to improve on. I know so many times people give people a hard time of when they say New Year's resolution or what have you. Like, leave people alone. Let them have a New Year's resolution. If these are things they want to work on this year, let people do that. Because I think about all the people, whether I know them or don't, who said, okay, this the year I'm going to take my health serious or whatever. And then you see they lost 50, 60 pounds. Okay, this was their year. So don't be getting down on people who say that, and even if they don't reach all those goals in this year, give them some grace. Yes. Casey, yeah, I did an interview with her. Yeah, that was a good time. Thanks so much, Jeff. I appreciate that. Okay, guys, so don't forget, put in the chat what's some things you want to work on this year, whether it's something you want to continue taking into, from last year to this year. Put it in the chat. Or if you have wins so far this year. Like me, just being productive. Oh, I did one big thing as far as I think is going to make a difference for my clinic. If any of you all are familiar with Skool, SKOOL, it's like communities, and people have all kinds of different school communities. So mine, of course, would be geared towards women of a certain age, around health and wellness, perimenopause, weight loss, things of that nature. So I figured all that out, got it up and going, and it's live. So proud of myself. So I did that this year already. So we're gonna see how that helps the clinic grow. So just trying to do some things. The big picture. I try to stay focused on the big picture. All right. So I'm sure everybody, and we have to be careful what we say, because sometimes YouTube trips with the lives. So I'm sure everybody has seen what is going on down in Venezuela, and I follow quite a few like political YouTube channels and stuff like that, and I found myself thinking, because it's every day is something with what we got going on here in America. Every day is something new coming out, right? So I was sitting up there thinking, with all this, mess going on with Venezuela and da 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 da, I was like, are the Jehovah Witnesses like in a better position right now because of their political stance? So what I was thinking, like that, what I was thinking in regards to that is that many of us that's here on the live now know that they take a neutral stance, right? They don't get involved, they don't vote. They may look at what's happening in politics to try to, support their narrative of the end coming, and things of that nature. But outside of that, they don't get too vested, right? And with all the stuff that's been going on in the last year, I had to step back sometimes, because I just be like, oh my God, it'll drive you crazy because it's something new every day. So it got me to thinking, like, being kind of naive as a Jehovah Witness because you're programmed to take this neutral stance, is that almost like a blessing in disguise? So let me give y'all an example. Before in 2016, me and my husband, well, he's my fiance then, there was an election, and obviously I didn't vote because I was being a good Jehovah Witness, right? And you all know who won. I'm trying not to say any trigger words because you two be tripping. Y'all know who won. He was upset, right? Because this person didn't have no kind of political experience. We just kind of know them as being a celebrity and a wealthy person, or whatever. And my response was like, it's okay. Jehovah will take care of everything. And after we got married and after I, fully woke up and all this stuff, my husband told me he wanted to be like, he said he wanted to cuss me out. Like, what the H are you talking about? Talking about Jehovah will take care of it, put our votes in God's kingdom, that kind of thing. And so at that time, because of the brainwashing and control, I wasn't vested in the world scene of politics. But now that I'm awake, now that I'm 50 something years old, this is what people my age do, right? I always watch the news, but not to the degree I do now. Maybe because I'm getting older. I don't know. Do you think that kind of neutral stance and being naive as to, the particulars of what's going on a political scene on a day to day is a protection, or could be a good thing? What do y'all think? I'm gonna drop the link just in case anybody want to come up and have a conversation about that. Let me see, did I miss anything? Jeff said, I started learning Japanese. I want to get better with that this year. I'm thinking of moving to Japan. Wow. I know Japanese and what is it, Mandarin. I know they're not easy. So kudos to you, Jeff. RC said, yep, I limit my news intake to a few minutes a day. Too stressful. Neutrality does serve them well. Okay, so I'm not crazy. Okay. Butterfly said, self-compassion goal, requieting my mind to find joy in small moments. I love that. Yep. So, Melissa, what's ignorance? As far as you said my opinion. Wait a minute. I'm going to drop the link. If you want to come up or anybody wants to come up, you don't have to show yourself on camera. Let's see. Okay, Butterfly said, continuing shifting my perspectives on the ebbs and flow of life. Yes. Watching my intake of daily news so I don't implode. Yes. Jeff says, as a born in, I find it fascinating how converts can adopt political neutrality. You know what, Jeff? I guess it's a matter of you're adopting all the other things, right? So it's just one more thing to kind of prove that you're worthy of being a Jehovah's Witness. And so take into account, Jeff, that I was, well, I keep forgetting. I had to be 28 because I'm like, yeah. No, or I might have been 29. No, I might have been 29 when I started studying. I can't remember when I bought my house because I know it was a couple of months before I bought my first house. Anyway, so at 29, up to that point, I think I had only voted twice. And was that Clinton? I think I might have voted during that time twice for Clinton. So I only had that little bit of time. You see what I'm saying? So, and at that time, I still didn't kind of like understand all the things, right? I understood if we went to WAR and this and that, but I might not have understood all the whys and hows and all that kind of stuff. I just understood we got a president, vice president, Congress, Supreme Court, that kind of thing. So I think if I had become a witness later in life, yeah, I probably would have been like, I wouldn't have been so agreeable, I guess. But I will tell y'all this now, if y'all want to laugh at something, baby, when Barack Obama won and they was out there at Grant Park celebrating all that stuff, I had all the lights off and I was almost had my head under the cover looking at the TV. But when I tell you, I was like, oh my God, I just kept saying, God, I wish my grandparents could see this, because I think I've shared with y'all before, either in video or on live, like my paternal grandmother, Clash Freen, literally says Central Colored High School, So I'm like, oh my God, my grandparents, great aunts and uncles who didn't get to see this day probably thought this would never happen. So I watched it and I asked Jehovah to forgive me, but I watched it. I didn't vote, but I watched it. I asked Jehovah to watch over Barack and his family because I thought they was going to pow them. But I did. So but beyond that, it just went back to just regular, day-to-day Jehovah's Witness thinking. But I ain't gonna lie, yeah, I was proud, I was scared, I didn't want nothing that happen to them, all the things. All right, let's see. I feel like I missed something. Oh, okay. Melissa was saying that not knowing what's going on in the world is kind of like a protection. Yeah. Let's see. Jeff said strict political neutrality is not a good thing, in my opinion. The problem is in JW, everything is black and white. Yep. There's no room for having a nuanced political opinion. Right. Yeah, you're right, Butterfly. Yes. Good point, Melissa. Okay, RC said, I didn't vote while a JW, but as a black man, I certainly wasn't neutral. My first vote when I left in 2008 was for Obama. I believe it's important to know what is going on around you. Yeah, yeah. JWs are only performatively apolitical. They constantly leverage their protected religious status for their sole benefit, never for the sake of other marginalized communities. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Now, y'all know I dropped that link. Now, don't nobody be scared to come on up here. Y'all don't have to be on camera. So yeah, this was just something that had crossed my mind because I'm just like every day, every day is it's something, and I have done a good job of when I feel like I'm going down the rabbit hole too much to pull back, because it will just drive you crazy. Um, Butterfly said, if so political, they wouldn't use elected officials for whom they cannot vote to protect their doctrines and ideologies. They would face their inevitable persecution and be quiet. Now, that's a good point. That's an excellent point. That's one thing that I did used to think about, how they would basically, say the government is so wrong and corrupt and, Jehovah's going to destroy them all. But then when they would win cases, going to the Supreme Court or the high courts of other, countries, it will always be like, oh, look at how Jehovah's hand is on this. So I used to be like, how can y'all have both? How can y'all both? You know? Let's see. Local local politics affects things like education, health, quality of life. The idea that JW should bury their concerns over those things is not. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, you should. Um, you should have knowledge of all levels, right? Um, and one thing where I live, um, the village, um, the I guess is he the mayor? Yeah. So I guess he the mayor. The mayor, the trustees, they come in, they participate in a lot of things with the business association where my office is, and I actually live in the village too. And they're out and about and things like that, talking to people. They have a lot of stuff going on. They really want to embrace the diversity of the village and things like that. And that's good to know, you know, those kind of things. Right now in Illinois, Dick Durbin is retiring. He's a senator. So we have a couple of House of Representatives that are campaigning for that seat. And then you have people who, not not U.S. Reps, but do we have any? I don't know, but so we got people who already U.S. reps for Illinois that want that senator seat, so they running for that. And then we got long-standing U.S. reps that are retiring, and so now you have like the state reps and local politicians that want to get that seat. So it's never ending here in the Chicago area because you got stuff going on with the federal government. We had ICE, very close to where I live. We had the National Guard, downtown Chicago, in the Chicago, the actual city of Chicago. So it's just like nonstop, y'all, nonstop. And so with this last thing happening down there in Venezuela, I was like, was I better off when I was thinking like a JW? But yeah, I was like, this is, but here's the sad part. Yes, the political scene, especially like right now, the last few, probably the last decade or so, it's been a hot mess, right? But yeah, it might have its fair share of anxiety and frustration and things of that nature, right? But I think I'd rather take this because I can always cut the TV off, I can always cut YouTube off or whatever, right? Whereas the anxiety and depression and all the things that JWs go through sitting in the Kingdom Hall or sitting in front of Zoom. Like, I'd rather take this because I still have control over how much of it I consume. Let's see. What book, Melissa? Animal Farm? I don't remember this book. Is that a childhood book? Let's see. Butterfly said, only upon fading did it occur to me how ruthlessly selfish the cult is. JW's Butterfly, you know when you do these abbreviations, I don't always know. JW's, I don't know what OFC stand for. Fault for, is that supposed to say often? I don't know. Fought for the 1943 West Virginia State Board of Education versus Barnett landmark Supreme Court case that ruled forcing public school students to salute the flag, recite the pledge. Okay, that was 1943. They gave no efforts or F's about the plight of Black Americans who were still being inexpressibly oppressed. Not even statement about, yeah. Okay, RC say similar situation here in North Carolina, senator retiring. The Japanese were cruelly imprisoned in work camps. Not a word for them either. It's always about them. Between 1928 and 1943, they won over 30 court cases for their release. Oh, okay. Is that it's like Animal Farm? So is it like a adult? Is it an adult book or? All right. Okay. I didn't know if y'all was gonna jump on me for that, but yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. 1984. Somebody else mentioned that. I have not read that, but somebody else has mentioned 1984. Let me put this on my list. So Animal Farm. Y'all say read Animal Farm. Don't forget to like the live, y'all. Like the live. Heart it if you like something that's said. And I don't think you can hype the lives, but when you watch the long form videos, and if you really like it, please hype it, y'all. I'm trying to stay at the top of the algorithm, I guess, so that more people can, see the content, especially like the XJW content. Yeah. So help a sister out, okay? Let's see. Okay, Animal Farm is a adult book. Yes, it's not for kids. Okay. 1984 had me mad how it ended. All right, all right. Hey, Cool Sense. All right. Okay. I'm gonna check those out. Speaking of books, y'all, our book club is reading this book. It's pretty good. Who Better Than You? The Art of Healthy Arrogance and Dreaming Big, Will Packer. It's pretty good. Some of the other books that we read in 2025, y'all know my favorite is the book that changed how I live life, Atomic Habits. He just came out with a workbook. I bought that. It's upstairs. I haven't really gone all the way into it. Then we read this one, the Emotional Talents Quick Book. And then this cover is upstairs. But then we read this one. This one is good. The Let Them Theory. And then we will reading this Will Packer. I'm gonna put Melissa and Butterfly out there. They're part of the book club. And I was telling them about this book. This was my OG. If I had to, well, I feel like nursing school, I started being not aroused. What is it? When you kind of shake somebody and they wake up. Is that the right word? Aroused? That don't sound right, but anyway, when somebody was little gentle shakes of saying, hey, something ain't right with this Kingdom Hall, this book right here. I love me some Brene Brown, but this book right here, this is the book that changed my life from, I'll say, 35 to when I turned 50, and then is Atomic Habits. So Butterfly and Melissa said we should read this next. So those are some of the books, y'all. Those are some of the books. Butterfly has a book, but I'm not gonna put it on screen because she might beat me up. But if she ever gives me permission to share her book, I will. It's a beautiful book. Not just it's a poetry book, so not just the poetry, but the actual book is beautiful. The design of it. All right, let's see what we got going on before we go on to the next subject. All right, Melissa said, I have both books. Great eye opener for how real life works. Butterfly said, yes, the book 1984 is what peeps are referring to when they say these times are very, how do you say that? Oriental. Thank you, Cool Sense. Love that book. Great book club selections. Yes, we really have a good time, RC. Yes, I definitely want to read that book that you are talking about. Yes, spark interest. How long were you baptized? Um, Jeff, what do you mean? Um, like from the time I started studying to when I got baptized? You welcome, Butterfly. It is. It's beautiful. It's probably one of the nicest books I've ever seen. Yep. Um, okay. So is anybody, I'm gonna put the link one more time, and I'll keep putting it because I know how y'all are. Startle is the thank you. Yeah, I started to kind of, you know, yeah. All right. Any more thoughts about and like I said, you all can come up and we can hear your lovely voices. Oh, okay. So I got baptized right before I turned 31. So that would have been what, 2005? Yeah, before I turned 30. So 2005 is when I got baptized right before I turned 31. And I would say I officially left in I guess you could say, I can't remember if it was March or April, but I'm thinking it might have been February or March. Now that I think about it. Hell, might have been January, February. I left, I want to say one meeting after I got engaged. So I probably did leave in January. Or maybe I left in February. I can't remember. I can't remember if I went to any meetings after that. Of 2017. So 12 years. So I was physically gone, but I was still kind of mentally into it. I just was calling myself an inactive witness. But as far as fully waking up was in, was it 2018? I think is when I discovered YouTube. Once I discovered YouTube, that was it, because there was confirmation that I wasn't crazy. Once I discovered critical thinkers, I think he was calling it John Cedar channel then, Lloyd Evans and things of that nature. And then people who don't even have like active channels, people who, they went through their phase, they said what they had to say, and then they haven't put up any, new content. But yeah, so 12 years, I guess you can say, physically being in. Well, 14 if you count the 2 years of studying. All right, let's see. Oh, okay. Melissa, you got the same about that same year, huh? Really, RC? And why do you think that might have been? And when you say people who got baptized as adults, I'm assuming you mean converts. Okay, Jeff said, it's kind of hard for me to say exactly when I woke up. Looking back, I was awake for years before I realized it. Yeah, I kind of feel that way too. So I defined the moment I left was when I looked at a non-JW YouTube video. Yeah, see, we kind of the same. Um, because if I was to go back, and I think I've shared this story before when I did the video about not dating for 11 years. let me see. I met my husband in 2016. So I think it was in 2015. And I want to say it was after I read um, Gifts of Imperfection. And I remember having a conversation with my mom, and I said, I couldn't imagine meeting somebody, they check 99 of your boxes, but the one box they don't check is Jehovah's Witness. And I'm just supposed to be like, thanks, but no thanks, sir. But then you get these brothers who raggedy as the day is long, okay? But because they only check one box, you're supposed to be like, you're better than, than this guy here. And I remember telling my mom, I said, you know what? I think that's one Jehovah's Witness rule I wouldn't be able to like agree to, you know. And sure enough, the very next year, here come my husband, and um we went out on our first date. I told him then, because I was like, if I don't think he cute like in person, then it ain't even worth telling him. And that's how I know. I never told people I was Jehovah's Witness. I never how they wanted you to tell people like, let your coworkers know, sit down, eat your lunch, and have your watchtower out. I never did that. I just was like, I'm me. When I'm at the hall, I'm at the hall. When I'm just out in the world, like I don't care about all that stuff. What's your name, what you do for a living, that kind of thing. Not where where do you worship. So I kind of feel like that moment might have been the early stages of me waking up, because nursing school put that separation, and I liked it. I didn't feel bad about it. I liked the separation. I liked being able to say, "Yep, I can't go to the hall. I got to study." And I used to tell them, and I finally told the elders. They was like, yeah, you missing your meetings and all this stuff. I said, look, I am single. I own a home. I didn't took my pension down to put myself through nursing school and be able to hold on to my house, because I was like, I'm too old. I can't work and study like the amount of studying needed for nursing. And ain't nobody gonna take care of me. So get off my back. When I can get to these meetings, I get to these meetings. When I can't, I can't. And after I said that, they did leave me alone until I graduated. And then it was like, you're missing meetings. And so I would lie and say, well, I'm the low man on the totem pole. I can't just tell them, oh, every Thursday I need off. I'm like, I got to money back up, you know? And honestly, probably 90% of the time I could have probably got a Thursday off. But I'm like, I ain't trying to have a day off to go to the hall. After you didn't work, well, after you didn't get paid for 12 hours, but you really didn't work probably like 15 between the time you get up, shower, get dressed, drive, get there, care for people, finish charting, clock out, drive, go home, take a shower, I'm like, kiss my grits, people. All right, what y'all talking about? Yes, more open-minded. And I'm gonna tell you what, RC, because they had lived before. They wasn't uptight. Witnesses are uptight. Born and raised witnesses are uptight. Some of the nastiest, meanest women I ever met were born and raised witnesses who never had a brother show any interest in them. They are mad, bitter, and uptight. All right, Melissa got to take her dogs out. Just said, who left the dogs out? Just said, as I started waking up, I lost interest in spirituality. Spiritually strong sisters. Yeah, I started noticing the good qualities in ones people call spiritually weak. Right. Spiritually strong mean you judgmental as hell. That's my definition. If you spiritually strong, you probably judgmental as hell. Okay? That's what I think. All right, y'all. So here's the other thing I want to talk about. I think I'm going to end up doing a video on this, but this was the other thing kind of trending this weekend a lot. I'm not sure if y'all, I don't know what else y'all look at on YouTube or social media and stuff like that. But how many here have heard of a woman by the name of Clarissa Shields. Do you know who she is? I figure some of the fellas might know who she is just because of her profession. Put a yes or no in the chat, y'all. Y'all don't know who she is? Or did they can somebody put something in the chat? I know if I got this candle. Call myself trying to have a vibe down here. All right, let's see. I guess it was a little bit of a delay because now they coming through. Melissa don't know who she is. Yes, Butterfly. She's a boxer. Yep, 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 yep. Hey, Isaiah. How you doing? Yes, she's dating Papoose. Okay. Yes. Hey, G Free. Okay, we got a lot of people in here. Y'all, when you come in, say hi. Make sure you like the live. It helps get it out to more people. And if you're not subscribed, please go and subscribe after you jump off the live. All right, so here's what I want to talk about, y'all. And y'all tell me what y'all think about it. I'll drop the link if anybody want to come up and discuss, okay? So Clarissa Shields is a female boxer. I believe she is like, I guess the correct term is undisputed heavyweight, in the women's boxing division or league or however they word it. I'm not really into boxing. However, she's like very, very successful, right? I think she like had 2 gold medals. And she just signed like a deal worth $8 million, which I believe she's like the highest paid female boxer, right? And so she's started dating a guy named Papoose, who is a rapper. Now he is currently married to another rapper named Remy Ma. And you all might know of Remy Ma from the Terror Squad with Fat Joe. So if y'all know that song "Lean Back" and the female on that track, that's Remy Ma. Well, they were on, we seen them on like Love and Hip Hop New York and all this stuff. So they were kind of like the golden, what's the term they always use? Power couple, the power couple, or what have you, right? Like this is black love, this and that. Remy Ma ended up going to jail. I'm giving y'all a little bit of a backstory. Remy Ma ended up going to jail. Papoose was so down, what they say, held her down so tough. He was going to the jail every day. And I think she had got about, I don't know, 3-5 years or something like that. Every day. He went to the jail every single day that they could have visitors, which I think was Monday through Friday or something like that. To the point she told him, you do not have to come up here every day. He was going up there every day. So she end up getting out. They end up, getting back, making money, whatever. All of a sudden, maybe about a year or so ago, you hear that Remy Ma is cheating. So everybody is like, oh, how can she do this to Papoose? He's been holding her down, this, that, da. All right, bring you up to speed. They separate, but they never got a divorce. All of a sudden, Papoose starts dating Clarissa Shields, right? People felt the type of way, right? This, that. Okay, now bring you up to why she's trending, while Papoose is trending, why you might have saw 50 Cent is trending. So Clarissa Shields, like I said, got the $8 million. Well, Papoose is still married, but they go together. That's her man. She's on TV shows and podcasts talking about they gonna have a baby and get married in 2026. He's still married. Well, video comes out where Remy Ma is trying on this fur coat, and in the background you hear somebody laughing, and people say that's Papoos's laugh. Then the internet investigators went and found where Papoose posted a video of him with the guy who owned the fur store. The guy got on the same exact outfit that Remy Ma, when she got this fur coat, or whatever. So people didn't put two and two together that they was together over the Christmas, holiday. So people calling Clarissa so stupid because little did I know Clarissa had signed Papoose as her manager. So now when she got that deal, he got 1.5 million because he was getting 20% or 15% or something like that. I'm like, oh my God. So now the girl is going to war, so to speak, with everybody that has something to say about her. So a million people on YouTube and social media is like talking about her and all this stuff. But what I want to talk about in regards to this is because me and my husband have debated this point, and y'all tell me how y'all feel about this. This is a classic case of why women and men, you never date somebody who is still married because of this situation right here. You sitting up here going hard. You didn't make this guy your manager, which I always thought that was crazy when married people or couples, when one of them is the manager. I don't know. I just feel like that's a recipe for disaster. So now he done made this money, and from what people say, this is probably the most money he's ever made in his life. And he didn't spent the holiday with his wife, which he has a right to do because that's his wife. But now you so mad because everybody telling you how dumb you are, and to wake up before they, laugh all the way to the bank with all your money. So the thing that stood out to me the most is this is why you don't date people who are married. And so my husband, we've gotten into discussions about this, and he's like, what if you've been separated from the person for X number of months, X number of years, and it's like it don't matter, y'all still married. Y'all still married. So do y'all agree, disagree, or what? What is your stance when somebody is still legally married on paper? One person starts dating somebody, and that somebody gets mad when that person go spend the holidays with they spouse, no matter how long they've been, separated or whatever. I'm like, this. I just hate to see women do this kind of stuff. And this girl, I feel like when she finally put two and two together and realized that she just got played, I think she's gonna crash out. All right. That was the long story. I was trying to give y'all all the back story. Let's see. Okay. Yep. Let's say we know lean back. Do the rock away. Oh, don't get me started. Yes. The perfect example. Cardi B and Diggs and Offset. Yes. That's another example. Like that's why I said I want to do a video about this. It's like it's just ridiculous. Right, Jeff. G Free, what do you mean that it doesn't matter? What doesn't matter? Oh, wait, you might have been responding to somebody else because you said as a female, I agree. Let's see. In Japan, if you're in the process of divorce but still legally married, people avoid you like the plague. They're legally the other the other spouse can go after the other person for damages. Let's talk about that. And RC probably has heard about this, and they usually win. In some states, people can sue the person trying to enter into the relationship with a married person. Exactly, G Free. All right. So I had scripted out. So it's another TikToker social media. I don't know the lady's name, but she had these crazy long nails and all this stuff. But she's like a famous TikToker. She just got hit with a what is it called when the lawsuit go through? what is it? What is it when you win in court? Why am I drawing blanks today? And they say, okay, this is how much money you're gonna be awarded. But this is 50. That's what my husband said every time I can't remember something. Um, but anyway, they ruled that she has to pay the ex-spouse, the ex wife, 1.5 or 1.7 million. They're in North Carolina. And I think I just saw RC put it in there. Yeah, it's the law is called alienation of affection. So basically, in North Carolina, I think it's about maybe 5 states that still have this on the books. But North Carolina is probably the most notable because if y'all recall, this is what happened with Fantasia and her youngest child. She started dating that guy. He was still legally married, even though him and his wife hadn't been together maybe in a couple of years or whatever. But all the wife had to say is, here's some text messages, and we might have had sex, 1 or 2 times in them 2 years. So she went after Fantasia. I want to say Fantasia settled out of court for maybe about 50,000. I think I had to look at my notes. I was gonna do a video about that because that happened to Fantasia. Nene, her case, it seems like it's still pending. I don't know if he got dropped. I don't know because Nene's boyfriend was still married when she started dating him. So that wife went after her in North Carolina. And then the latest TikTok lady with the 1.5 or 1.7 million. And it's like, if you never got involved with people who are still legally married, you wouldn't be up here having to cough up 1.5, 1.7. That a girl probably is gonna, file bankruptcy or do whatever. The ex-wife will probably never get that money, but it's just a fact. It's like it ain't all the sex in the world. It can't be worth no 1.5 million. Just crazy. All right, let's see. Yep. Butterfly Ox said, I completely agree. Wait until they're divorced. She might beat Papoose up. Oh, I think she could beat all of them up. I hear she is a beast. I'm like, mm-mm. And now 50 Cent is trolling them. And now she thinks she wants something with 50 Cent. I'm like, I don't see why people even fool with 50 Cent. He is so petty. 50 Cent right now could be interviewing her family. Like he did for this Diddy documentary. Let's see. Isaiah said, when they go to court for the divorce, the wife will have the advantage to get anything she wants because it's called adultery. Judgment. Thank you, RC. I'm like, why can't I think of the words today? Yes, if you gonna do that, don't do it in North Carolina. Talking about just say, was they divorce scriptural? Yep. Yep. Nene went through that too. I tried when I was gonna put this together. I couldn't find if it had reached a final judgment. So everything I had found in the case with Nene, it sounded like it could possibly still be pending, or it may have gotten dropped or something like that. But see, I should have did that. I mean, I guess I could do it now with this Clarissa Shields kind of thing, even though she's not being sued, but she's definitely being played. And what can she say? You told me you love me. You came over here. I made you my manager, and I'm gonna tell you what he gonna probably tell her. I didn't tell you to do that. You came at me and said you was gonna do that. Like I didn't seen it. Yes, he is. Hey, Mrs. Paula, how you doing? Yes, 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 y'all. So, okay, I'm not the only one. Like my husband, Huh? Yeah. You gotta turn them off because it's messing up my internet connection. If you got multiple on. All right, I'm back, y'all. I'm sorry about that. Can y'all see me? Can y'all see me? I'm back. Can y'all see me? I think I'm back good. It say recording. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Yeah, my husband, he got too many things going on. He like a teenager. He had every TV on in the house. And all the cable and all that stuff, go through one modem. So I'm back. I was like, wait, what's going on? Then I say, hey, you got on multiple TVs? Yeah. Turn them off. Crazy. Crazy. All right, so we back. So yes. Um, yeah, so okay, y'all kind of like me. I'm like, I've always felt like if you are separated, what's to stop you from going back? Right? What's to stop you going back? And then she on podcast, TV, wherever she can be, internet, going hard for this guy. He's a married man, ma'am. Like, he's a married man with a small child. And clearly he adores Remy Ma, no matter what he might have said and this, and that. Because if a man gonna go see you at the jailhouse every single day for years, mm-mm. And so now Paul Clarissa is like, she's just trying to compete with Remy Ma. And it's like, and that Remy Ma and Papoose are probably just laughing to the bank. They probably didn't had them a good old time over Christmas. And it's just foolishness. And everybody put every single moment of their life on the internet. And so now everybody's clowning her. So I really do feel bad from her, because it sounds like she came from really, really hard, upbringing. So to use that to become this, professional, successful boxer, make all this money, and this is how you want to, you know, how you want to do it. And I think she had like a boyfriend from where she's from. I think she's from Flint, Michigan, who really adored her. But then she thinking, oh, I got, this rapper. And it's like, it's a line in, I always forget, I think it's House Party 2, where Queen Latifah character tells Tisha Campbell's character, different don't mean better. Different don't mean better. And I can't tell you nothing else from House Party 2, but that line always stuck with me because we all guilty. Speaking of guilty, the JW who introduced me to the JWs, he was different, but he wasn't better. And I should have realized that. He was different from any other person I had dated. And I got sucked in by that, thinking like, oh, this is different, you know, and wasted 14 years of my life. Jeff, you know all the songs. You are a music connoisseur. Well, I thought I would have got somebody to come up here and have a conversation with me. I'm gonna give y'all one last chance since we've been on here for an hour. I have enjoyed myself, y'all. I think Sunday might be the winner chicken dinner, honey. I think I like Sundays. I think I might like Sunday, especially football finna be over in another 4 weeks or so. So And I like 7 o'clock because I know so many of you all are on the East Coast time, and I really appreciate y'all. I do love y'all. You know, I feel like some of you all obviously I know, and talk to and things like that outside of the platform, and then those I feel like I know you, inside the platform. So I'm so appreciative of y'all taking y'all time, to get on here and chit chat with me. So I think Sunday gonna be it. I do let's see, Isaiah said, you know what you got, you don't know what you are getting. Exactly. Oh, is that what she said? Don't I thought she said different don't mean better. Am I getting my movies mixed up? Or was that class act? Let's see. Don't seem like an hour went back. Yes, I'll try to join the next one. Yes, Jeff, you have given us some good insight and laughter tonight. Yeah, that was fast. Yes, we have book club tomorrow. So be prepared. Be prepared. I was these are small chapters. This is a good book though, y'all. It's a good book. Sometimes I'll be like, okay, what am I supposed to get out of this? And then once we get to the end of the chapter, I'll be like, oh, that's what I was supposed to get. So, but all right, so we're gonna be rocking with Sundays. Like I say, be prepared. Y'all gonna see a lot more of the content in January and moving forward. I'm gonna start batch recording and doing all the things. We have something new rolling out on Tuesday. The courtesy of Butterfly. She gave me this idea. So every Tuesday, y'all gonna start seeing. I don't want to tell you what it is, so you'll be looking for it. But this Tuesday, we're gonna do our first one. And so shout out to Butterfly. And also shout out to Butterfly. She is the longest member of the Same OT channel. So shout out to Miss Butterfly. She holds your girl down. Appreciate that so much. Um, you better get to reading. I gotta finish reading too. Okay. And shout out to RC, everybody that was here, Jeff, who else? Cool Sense stopped by, Miss Paula, Isaac, G Free. Who else did I see? Who else? I know some people might have dropped off when my who else? Did I miss anybody? I don't want to miss anybody who's still here. Oh my God, you so funny, Melissa. I mean, I could stay on because I got on earlier. I could stay on for um like to 8:30 my time, which is 9:30 y'all time. So, I ain't gotta get off. Like that's another thing. I like getting back on at 7. So I just be trying not to I be trying not to talk too much about stuff that I got coming up in a long form video. But it was something else that I wanted to discuss. But now I have to let me see if I can look at my notes and see if I can remember. Um, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, don't forget to like the live, y'all. Um, the oh, excuse me, I'm burping. Dang, what was it? Because I don't be wanting to give it away, so y'all watch the videos when I put them together. Um, Dang, what was it? Well, we could talk about this. What is the name of his channel? I think is XJW Analyzer. Are y'all familiar with that channel? XJW Analyzer. I believe that's the name of the channel. Okay, I'm gonna stay on. My people. Out of soul. I hope I'm saying that right. Yes. All right. All right, cool. So are y'all familiar with XJW Analyzer? Oh, you in New Mexico? Okay. Well, it's just me. Well, yeah, I think everybody else, Jeff, they be like East Coast. Cool Sense, I think, is in California, but I think he might have dropped down. Um, did I read your man, RC? Okay, yes. So XJW Analyzer, he was one of the ones, like I didn't realize what the algorithm do, right? But when the algorithm saw that when I first discovered the XJW space on YouTube, I would go and I would look at every single thing from Critical Thinker, Lloyd Evans, but then XJW Analyzer, and I can't remember, I think that was the name of his channel then. His stuff started coming up, and I found his approach and his breakdown, very appealing. And there's something about his voice is very like a voice actor. Then he took a break, and then I think he kind of came back, and he was just kind of analyzing, in general, cult behavior and things like that. And then he went silent again. Then he started kind of coming back. And then lately, like in the last month or so, like the production has been crazy. He did a video, and he did like a comparison of the Truman Show to the Jehovah's Witnesses. Oh, that thing, it was good. Did y'all see that? Yes. And you know what, if I'm not mistaken, I just realized that he is married to Stop the Shunning. I think her name is Bethany. Is her name Bethany? Blonde with the glasses, kind of has that like dry humor. Um, and I say, wow, two people in the same household, two different approaches as to how they convey their message. Okay, let me see what y'all said. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, yes, Jeff. Yes. Yes, it was. Okay, I think I remember them mentioning that. Okay, yeah. All right. Um, it was so good. It was so good. And so I think the last one I watched, he compared, well, he was I think he was talking about basically, um or at least what I took away from it. He was talking about with them not counting field service anymore, like what was he saying, like, so how, like, basically, so how does that make a pioneer feel? Like your 70 hours really don't mean nothing, because all these people over here can simply, say, hey, we live in the last days, to the lady at the grocery line, and then they could just check the box. And I was like, man. But yeah, his production, so I don't know if he outsourcing, I don't know if he, digging in. It seemed like he kind of trying to take things to the next level, which, hey, kudos to him. Y'all, I know y'all get sick of hearing me say it all the time. I couldn't do XJW content all the time. I would lose my passion, my enjoyment. I love the doing the videos. I get tickled when I can see that my editing or the video quality came out really, really nice. I'm forever learning something new on CapCut. And I be wanting to talk about, look, I was sitting here talking about Clarissa Shields. Some of y'all didn't even know who she was and things of that nature. So I be wanting to talk about a lot of stuff. And I just couldn't do it. But I understand that people who were born and raised in it, they have like experience on top of experience. I know for a lot of people, the fact of finding out that the doctrines ain't true, that really, bothers people. So they like to do deep dives with that. I guess for me, I'm more about approaching the social emotional impact of it. You know, I I couldn't even probably tell you a lot of like the stuff with the dates and stuff like that, and people be so up in arms and all this stuff. I'm gonna tell you the only date I really remember is 1914. That's the only date that's when Jesus supposedly took the throne. That's it. So everybody got they thing, but that if y'all looking just because there's a million out there. I think some of them might be fake. Some of these AI ones, I think they might be fake. Like the faceless ones that's just 100% AI voice and seem very AI put together. I don't know. Not trying to shade nobody, but okay, I thought I had froze up again. But if y'all have ever watched the Truman Show, and I love the Truman Show, that was such a good movie. Jim Carrey, go watch that video, and it's gonna make you be like, "Dang, that's deep right there." Let's see. Jeff said, "I remember seeing Truman Show in the theater. That movie felt weirdly familiar, although at the time I didn't make sense to me as I was waking up. It made sense though. I didn't find anything funny about that movie in the theater. It was terrifying. Wow, wow. Well, it wasn't really designed to be funny. But I would say I was like, man, what if life really is one big Truman Show? And um in the last few months, or I would say in the last year or so, I've been saying I feel like we living in the Truman Show. But at least like in Truman Show, up until a point, like at least they was curating life to be pleasant and all that stuff with Jim Carrey's, character versus the crap we dealing with. Um, Butterfly say I don't like the AI XJW videos. Feel very, yeah. Now, and here's the difference. I know some people, for whatever reason, they do the faceless JW channel. So it is one person who I believe it truly is a real person behind it. But the other ones that I've been coming across, I listen for a few minutes and I'm like, eh. And the only reason I'm willing to put good money that the one channel I'm thinking about is not like AI is because she actually responded to me when I responded on the video. And she said, "Oh my," and not saying AI can't do that, but she's like, "Oh my gosh," she said, I watched all three of your waking up stories." She responded in a real human way. But these other ones, I do think they are AI generated. Let's see. Mm, Uh, where was I? I got approached by an elder at my front door. Um, when Melissa, I'll say we're living in a really bad Black Mirror episode. I've watched a couple of those episodes. Yeah. Another movie that got me was the end of the original Planet of the Apes when Charleston and Halston discovered the truth. I saw that as a young teen, and even then it felt eerily familiar to me. Wow. Hey Jane. Hi T. I heard laid off. Lots of Bethelites told to leave, not need them anymore. Well, only 2 WT a year. Wait a minute. Are you saying recently a bunch of Bethelites got laid off? Or are you talking about a few years ago? Yeah, 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 yeah. Mm. Supposedly sent a letter out to them. Oh, this month, the older ones, if over 68, can get Social Security, but not more than 3,000 a year. How can they get Social Security if they never worked? And how can they get that much? I thought, now y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I thought that in order to get a certain amount, you have to have so many credits. So are they, when you go to Bethel, you're not an employee, right? If that's true, Lord have mercy. But you know what? It's crazy that you bring that up. I was actually thinking about this the other day. Like, are people still going to Bethel? Just like the other day, I was thinking, are people still going door to door? And then today, somebody texted me and told me somebody came to their door today. And I was like, wow, on a Sunday? I'm like, are they going door to door? Now, I did hear that, Jeff. They're no longer making Bethel service permanent. It's only going to be temporary stay for volunteers. I did hear something along that lines, like it's like short stints, and then they can either keep continuing. Hmm. Now, why is that? Is it because they're making such advancements with the technology, or is it because of the lawsuits? So they don't want to be having to feed people, you know, pay for the utilities and all this, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe they don't need that much manpower as far as free labor. Yeah, that's probably what it is. So let me ask y'all this. I think, did we talk about this last time about how everything is digitalized now, right? So everybody got their phone or their tablet or whatever, and they say you don't see nobody with the book. Nobody has the actual Bible or song book and stuff like that. So I was saying it's twofold, right? One, yes, uh, it's it's way easier to create a digital product and sell that or give that away, right? Um, People, y'all probably see that on social media. People selling their digital ebook, their this, and that. Yeah, they make that once, and it's no, it's nothing to produce after you make it in whatever platform you put it on. I mean, whatever software, put it on a platform, you can sell it a million times, right? You can go in there, edit it, and sell that. But if you get a hard copy book, right, and you want to take a section out or do something, now you gotta, slap second edition on it, and reprint those. So I do think one is the cost, right? Moving into the digital space. But two, I think is to be able to um erase the paper trail of things, of old light, you know, because they could just go in there, delete chunks of information and say, oh, we never said that. Let's see. Um, okay, hold on. I done missed some stuff. All right. If you sign a vow of poverty, government gives you 3,000 a year. That's not a lot. They get 120 a month for working here. Oh, it's 3,000 a year? Oh, I thought, you know what? You said 3,000 a year. That's what I saw a month in my head. That's why I was like, how they getting 3,000 a month? My mama worked 30 years and she don't get 3,000 a month in Social Security. Let's see. Oh, that ain't nothing. Um, there's okay, let's see. They're no longer making Bethel service. Okay, we read that. Da 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 da. I thought JW told not to door to door because of all the CSA legal cases. But my JW relative stands a cart, but they can do door to door sometimes. But I think it is. Oh, okay. Yes. So odd that they on a Sunday. And what about the Sunday meeting? I think it's cheaper to rotate people. And if they get temporary volunteers, they can volunteer into covering some of their personal expenses. Yeah. Each Kingdom Hall think do own thing in door to door. Tia notice on Amazon how lots of JW books. It's weird. Oh, really? I think it's easier to alter history with everything. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. If not many at Kingdom Hall doing Zoom. Exactly. It's harder to completely bury or at the very least. Yeah. Okay. Dang. So let's talk about something real quick that just came up. When I was thinking about like our witnesses going door to door and things of that nature, right? Um, do y'all remember when they rolled out the carts? I don't know if it was called this everywhere, but in the Chicagoland area, it was called Metropolitan Witnessing when it first rolled out. And to show you how crazy, because I dreaded door to door for a number of reasons. I didn't want to be seen by people I knew. Like I said, because I didn't used to broadcast and I didn't have the, JW org pen on, on my coat, and all the stuff that they started doing. And I remember when they rolled it out, and I was like, "Ooh, all you gotta do is just kind of stand there, and you ain't, if they want to say something, then you say something." I was like, "Oh, that seemed easy enough, staying by the cart for a couple of hours or whatever, versus going door to door, knocking and getting cussed out, and all that stuff." But then I remembered it was like this long list of who could qualify. So it was yet another way to make people feel unspiritual or unworthy because only select people could do the cart witnessing. And the rest of you peasants must still go door to door. Was it like that when y'all was going, when they rolled out the carts? Let's see. Okay. I think they still have Sundays, but not many show up. I remember when they rolled out cards. I was living in NYC when it took off. I think the cards came out 2023. Oh no, they had them way before then. They had them. I want to say at my home. I want to say at least maybe 2015 is when they came to when we first got the carts. I remember it was like, ooh, those are the carts. It's like, oh my God. So crazy. So absolutely crazy. Oh Lord. Yeah. Yeah, you had to be approved. Yeah, you definitely had to be approved. So basically it was, the super righteous, the elders' wives, pioneers. Like it was no regular regulars with the carts. Mm-mm. Yeah, they had them way before COVID. Okay, 2014. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Want to say maybe like 2015. Yeah, yeah. It was incremental because it was like, oh, we've gotten approval to do metropolitan witnessing here in the Chicagoland area. Mm-hmm. Craziness, craziness, y'all. All right, y'all. I got about 5 more minutes because I gotta take these dogs outside. I gotta give them their melatonin and all the things, and get my butt in the bed. That's the other thing I've been doing. I've been getting in the bed at a decent hour, putting the phone down, stop playing the game, so that I can uh go. I have no problem falling asleep, but sometimes I wake up. And I notice if I fall asleep playing the game or listening to YouTube, which I have been guilty of doing before, then I end up waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I try to put everything down and just let it be. And it's really been working. T, my sister, a JW pioneer, and she stands out there looking at the phone. Scary, crazy to me. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Melissa, thank y'all. I think we got a winner with the Sunday. I'm telling you. I like the Sunday. So moving forward, I think we're gonna do Tell Me Something Good Sundays. And I'm still doing my happy hours, when when I just feel compelled to come on and talk about whatever it is, hot topic or whatever. And I'm still gonna do some lunchtime tea as well. So it just kind of depends. But like the for sure once a week, I think we're gonna move to Sunday. We had a really good turnout, good participation. So now we just gotta work for y'all to come on up so we can hear what y'all sound like. Thank you. Yes, I'm gonna get some rest. Let's see. Butterfly said I had just exited the train in DC and saw the cart for first. I almost it gave myself a stroke. Oh Lord. Are you kidding me, Jeff? I don't never see carts where I live. I never see carts where I live. And I want to say, was that this year? Yeah, it might have been this year or last year. Somebody came to our door and my husband was like, that was your people. I was like, what? He's like, I think it was your witnesses just at the door. And when I went to kind of look down the street, they kind of had that pioneer stroll. I said, but I want to say it might have been on a Sunday, kind of later in the afternoon. And I was like, this just seemed like a weird time. But if what y'all somebody said is true, um, remember how they used to be like, oh, the pioneers get their own special territory? Maybe that's what they're doing. Because it was just three of them. And I didn't see nobody else like working the block. It was like a man and two women. So maybe they went back to that because the only people who really got to get time, right, is the pioneers. Everybody else can just check the box. Everybody else can check the box. So it would make sense that meeting to support the group is probably all people really doing because they like, I ain't gotta go door to door. As long as I say Jehovah's good to somebody at the store, I can check the box. Oh, let's see. Jeff, I know. I was like, them your people. I'm like, them are your people. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, when you safe travels, RC, when you go up to DC, everybody be safe. The FLU is high. Okay. They not telling y'all, but it's out here. So make sure y'all wash your hands. If you need to wear your mask, wear your mask. And you know, tell people to stay up out your face. Cause and the flu, you know, jab this season is not effective for the strand that is putting some people down. Okay, so y'all be careful out here. Melissa, I heard the national parks are no longer free on MLK as well as Juneteenth. That's what he took away. But I all right, RC, I love that. Um, but I tell people, do not see you next time, Jeff. Do not hold your breath and do not be surprised that what is today, the 4th? Do not be surprised in the next 10 days that an executive order is signed and he says it's no longer a federal holiday. I'm just saying. And don't be surprised that he makes an executive order that his birthday is. Like, we're living in the worst episode of the Truman Show. Yes, that is true, RC. That is true. So they have been telling people to still get it, even though the strand that's prevalent is not one of the strands that was targeted, but it should still give you enough protection to keep from serious sickness and hospitalization. So that is true. Yeah, it's always something, Melissa. It's like what they say, in every tragedy there's comedy, in every comedy there's tragedy. That's how we living right now. Like, sometimes the stuff that is said and done is so tragic. You can't, what is it, can't help but cry from laugh. I mean, yeah, can't help but laugh from crying. It's just a mess. So yeah. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. Okay. 8 more minutes, y'all, if y'all still here. That's what I want to talk about. No, I'll wait. Let me put that. I want to talk about the peace monks. Our peace walk with the monks. God, I knew it was something. I will talk about that one day this week. But let's see. What did you say, Butterfly? Those peace monks are walking too slowly. By the time they arrive in mid-February, DC will look like a scene from Independence Day after the aliens attacked. That's what I want to talk about. But I'll go live one day at lunchtime and talk about that, because I think what they're doing is beautiful. I'm just so disappointed in people who are not respecting the journey. So I want to talk about that. So I'll do that as a lunchtime live and everything. Oh, okay. Okay, y'all still here. All right. So if you all have not seen it, there is, I think, about maybe a dozen monks, Buddhist monks, who have come over here to do a peace walk. So they have been walking from Texas to DC, and they're scheduled to get to DC like February, and it's in an effort to bring peace. If you know anything about monks, they spend, it seemed like, almost their whole time from the moment they become an official monk, till they die, like in silence and solitude and, just all this stuff. Some of these men don't have on shoes. They have like this dog and all this stuff. So when they're walking, they're asking people like not to be screaming and hollering and hooping and hollering and, and all this stuff, because it's all about, Zen, peace, and everything. So many people have been respectful. So many people are like moved to tears, because it's like these people are coming all the way over here trying to bring peace, to the nation and, all this stuff, really understanding what they're doing. But then you got some people who want to make it about them. And so I think they was in Alabama. So whoever the little local people trying to run for local office or something like that, they out there start walking alongside of them, hooping and hollering, taking pictures, doing the selfie pose and all this stuff. And then even had the nerve to touch them. And you shouldn't touch them, It was just so disgusting, and it was so disappointing, because it's just like, Why do we do that? Everybody else, now people have given them food or like water or flowers. They receive that and they keep walking, right? They keep walking or whatever. But why would you do that when you see all these people, Texas, everybody just being, respectful and, just taking in the moment. So then you got like those people. It was so disappointing. And while you sitting up here thinking it's a flex and I'm gonna post and I'm gonna go viral, you end up going viral, but you end up going viral for the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta stop always thinking about ourselves and ooh, I'm a post and yeah, I'm out here with the monks. Like you're missing the point. You're missing the point of what they symbolize. So then one of them, I think, got hit by a car, and I still have not got all the details because I'm like, because they have gotten some MAGA supporters out there, um, you know, hooping and hollering, which I don't understand why y'all out there hooping and hollering. But I think it's the like the what they call it, evangelical type Christians that are also MAGA, and they hooping and hollering, and it's just like y'all really missing the point. Like that's one thing I've learned after my experience with the Jehovah's Witnesses. When people get so caught up in they label and they title, and it's especially for the ones who say they identify as Christian, they act the least Christian like. Because if Jesus was out here and these Buddhist monks are coming in peace, trying to bring some peace to this nation by symbolizing and walking in solitude and da 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 da, who do you think Jesus would be patting on the back? The monks or y'all hooping and hollering? It's just unbelievable. Like the minute people start being like, I'm a Christian, I already know everything I should know about you. Because it's just a title. It's just a free pass to be judgmental. And if it ain't the way you think it should be or whatever, it's a problem. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's see. Yes, they had to they I think they were in Georgia today and they were gonna be going to Athens, but they had to reroute and go to Columbia, South Carolina instead because ain't no telling because I think something they it's like they didn't want to say it, but it sounded like maybe they might have were gonna receive threats. They had received threats, and so that's why they didn't go um to Athens. It's just like people be claiming they want peace, but they don't want peace. They really don't. People people are so used to dysfunction and chaos and drama that they don't even know how to function. Let's see. Oh, happy new year. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. But that's the thing. They just, they just chilling, doing their thing. Yeah, so disrespectful. Yeah. Oh, I went off on a tangent. I didn't finish the story. Yeah, so yeah, one of them got hit. He ended up having to get, I think he had like a above knee amputation. So it's like, did something happen on purpose? Like I'm still trying to find the details. They just, kind of tell you he's doing okay and this, and that. I mean, still smiling through it all. Here it is. They come over here asking for peace, and like, oh my God, it's just unbelievable. All right, that is good news. Is this something recent? Is this something recent? Yeah, that is good news. So yeah, that's what it was. Thank you, Butterfly, for bringing it up. Um, So I don't know. I hope that they good energy, they positive vibes, make an impression on somebody, um, and that people just leave them alone. Like, golly, some people they don't know who they are if they're not in dysfunction and drama and loudness, you know. But all right, y'all, 4 more minutes, and then I got to take these dogs out. I don't want the coyotes to get us. My neighbor, like 2 3 months ago, told us he seen two coyotes in his backyard, and we've had coyotes around here, so I gotta take both of these, dogs out. Kingston probably could hold his own a little bit, but that Pepper is a menace. I bought him this little black hoodie. He looked just like a thug. He the one. He'll be the one to get me and Kingston ate up because he gon' mouth, he gon' snip and bite, and the coyotes gonna eat me and Kingston up because of him. Um, 3 years ago, hallelujah. Um, yeah, I think it was deliberate. That's what I'm saying. People, let me tell y'all something, y'all. Protect your energy. Protect your energy. Yes, we do have coyotes here in Chicago. Matter of fact, was it last year? The city, the inner city, which is very rare. I stay in the suburbs, but the inner city, which is a little bit more rare to see coyotes, but they are starting to go into the city. Matter of fact, if you go and probably YouTube it or Google it, Google coyote hiding in grocery store. One of the coyotes had went into the Aldi's and got into like the cooler, where they might have like, the fruits and vegetables. And the doggone police had to use one of them like loop things with the pole to try to get it out. It was a mess. So in my house, you would think I lived in the woods, but something killed the and I hope they don't get me for that. Something unalive a post squirrel. Cause I was like, what is this fur? I was taking the dogs out in the morning. Then I saw like the remains. I was like, oh my God. I told my husband, I said, now I can get a poop, pee, vomit as a nurse. I can't get this up. So I say it was probably the coyotes. Or we have a fox that we catch on the camera. And then he's like, it probably is that cat. He said, I've been seeing a cat. I said, but God, oh. I'm like, well, where was the squirrel? I don't know. It's Wild Kingdom over here. We have rabbits, raccoons, coyotes, foxes, cats, possums. What else? I think that's all I've seen over here. All in my backyard. At one point. Now I don't be out there but you can see it on the camera. Oh, and the geese who like to boo boo everywhere. Just too much. All right. I believe it was deliberate in Chicago. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Um, I caught an owl going after my neighbor's duck at 2:30 a.m. last week. It kept me up the rest. I bet it did. Oh my God. I can't stand it. I'm the type of person when I see roadkill, I just be like, oh, I be like, Lord Jesus, why? Oh, and skunks. I be like, I can't stand skunks, but I be like, why, Lord? Why? Why the skunk didn't make it across the street? Yes, Google it, RC. Okay, I'll get that. We have my husband bought the the spray like the postal carriers work have, but okay, I will definitely try bear spray. Now we haven't been confronted by any coyotes, but we be all out there like a family. So these two jokers can pee. I know. I was like, Wait till y'all see the video. I am positive it'll come up on Google or YouTube. But all right, y'all. It's been an hour and 45 minutes. I have enjoyed y'all tremendously. I really love the Sunday. And we're going to be rocking with the Sunday. So y'all have a good day tomorrow. And be on the lookout. I'm about to become the batch video recording queen. So I'm going to be very consistent with my uploads. I know, butterfly. So, all right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Have a good week. And I'll see y'all